Hello everybody and welcome in to Geek with me, where today we are discussing Alien Earth episodes 5 and 6 titled In Space, No One, which is an allusion to the original tagline from the film Alien: In Space, No One Can Hear You Scream, and episode 6, The Fly, which I think is an allusion to David Cronenberg's 80s masterpiece starring Jeff Goldblum and Gina Davis, The Fly. I'm Colton Robertson. I'm joined by Joseph George. What's up, homie?
Oh, what up, what up? Always a pleasure to be here.
Oh, and it's always a pleasure to have you. We got some goodies on the docket. For the first time in the show so far, I feel like we are fucking heating up, baby.
Yep.
You know, like we are cooking with gas, and I feel good about it. How did you feel about episodes 5 and 6?
Oh, yeah. I watched episode 4 on its own before episode 5 came out. I kind of waited last go around until both were out to watch them. But this time I watched them individually, and 5 was already good by itself. Like, it was already like, oh shit. Like, I'm like, okay, like, yeah, we're picking it up. And I think I like 5 more. It felt a lot more. It was just Alien. Like, I feel like it was just
episode 5 is basically an Alien short film.
Oh yeah, and it was all. I mean, as good as like a TV episode of television, I feel like of Alien could be, like, of the show we've gotten. Yeah, this is the best kind of homage to the OG that we could have got, and it's really cool that we're
strikingly original too. By the way, like
that's true.
It manages to be Alien without biting Alien the way the first episode did.
Yeah, we have the eye, you know.
Eye, dude, the fucking eye, dude.
It is what a villain, like what a fucking creature. Like I fully don't know how to read it.
I'm like, villain?
Exactly.
I don't
like,
know.
Yeah, I know. Is it in the eye? Is it just best to call it that? You know, it is. I don't, because right now it's a sheep. I was thinking about calling it Dolly, but then I'm like, oh no, this thing can just pop out of the sheep at any point. It doesn't need to stay in there. You know, it's like it could choose whatever host body it wants.
Right.
And I thought that it was going to, you know, was it in that xenomorph? You know, we never saw the, you know, like it at the very end of whenever the eye is in the engineer, and then it jumps out to like protect or seemingly protect or like fight the xenomorph. You know, it's attacking the xenomorph and everything. But then the eye is on the xenomorph, and it's like, you know, xenomorph's wailing, going ow 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 ow. But then, you know, the next time we see the xenomorph, it is running just like, I don't know. It's like we don't really see the end of that interaction of the eye and the xenomorph. So I'm wondering, did the eye, you know, implant itself in the xenomorph or not? Did the xenomorph did it run away? Because obviously it's still alive. It is in the sheep right now. So like it didn't, and I don't know what that means. Even if it did, you know, they crashed, so it just jumped out, and then I don't know, to get captured again.
And that's the thing too, is like xenomorphs like don't got eyes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
does that work? Yeah, because
it feels like it as far as what we've seen, it has expressly replaced the spot where an eye should go. It can't just nest itself somewhere and call it good. It ain't the substance.
I guess that's true. I was just maybe thinking any organic life, but is a xenomorph organic? Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's
organic. It's
organic. So like maybe it just needs a connection.
And don't get me wrong, I do think it's possible. I don't think what you're saying is impossible. I almost think that when it comes to the eye right now, funny that the most interesting characters in the show are Morrow, Kirsch, and this fucking eyeball.
The eye.
The eye is incredible,
I didn't think
dude.
of that as a character. No, the eye might be the character.
Easy,
of the sect.
easy. Of these two, I would probably give Morrow the individual from 5, but and maybe even 6. I gave him Morrow
dude is performing his ass off too.
Morrow is far and away the most compelling original character of the year for me in TV. You know, and that's saying a lot. We've had some good stuff this year, but
who killed his daughter?
Holy shit.
Was it an accident Or was it very purposeful that fire was lit? You know, that's what I want to know. And he wants to kill Boy Cavalier, and it could just be that he made the ship crash. You know, because he found out the saboteur. You know, and Boy Cavalier was the one egging him on, whatever. But is there more to this? You know,
I need like here's the thing. I've needed Boy Cavalier to die. All right. Mm-hmm. Dude sucks. Yeah. There's the only good trillionaire is a dead trillionaire. You know what I'm saying? But
yes, trillionaire should not exist.
Even if he was not a trillionaire, even if he wasn't a billionaire, even if he wasn't a millionaire, if you were in a meeting sitting across the desk from a beautiful, gorgeous woman, and you decide to post up manspreading with both your feet on the table, dog, you gots to go. You gots to get got. I need you dead. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know that's an extreme reaction to such an action. I don't care, bro. You gotta go.
Yeah, he's obviously pulling a lot more strings. He knows, like, I want to say, you know, sadly, like, I didn't really care. Like, the last episodes, like, I didn't really care much for him. He was cool as, like, pushing the story along. But now he actually got, like, kind of, like, damn it. Why did you have to win so good here on this meeting, you know? Like, I kind of wanted Yutani to
No, I know. And that's the thing is that, like, as far as we know, Weyland Yutani outlives this saga.
This is true. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But what we don't know is if Prodigy does. Like, and that's what I really appreciate about the open-endedness of the corporate rivalry going on, is that have we just been following Weyland Yutani Enterprises in this franchise? Is there other corporations doing shit like this out there? And do Ellen Ripley and Ash and that whole crew have to go out because they don't get it back from Boy Cavalier?
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Like, do they have to leave?
They're out on the search again. Yeah, because
you know, so like,
don't have them.
Because they lost it. They lost. That's why I'm like, I think that is a distinct possibility at this point, which means we have an unbelievable opening of storytelling potential if the idea is that Weyland Yutani is just one sect of what's happening. And obviously in a giant intergalactic saga, of course they'd only be one. But actually opening that story up and world building in this way is very, very compelling, and I really like it.
Because I mean, I feel like the other companies have to come in here like a little. Like, I think that's the next twist, is that we think this is just a Prodigy and Weyland Yutani thing. But actually, Lynch, you know, I want Lynch to be coming in here and actually just making Weyland Yutani and Prodigy fight so that he wins at the end of the day. And then it's this David Lynch, you know, I don't know anything about Lynch.
Played
or what
by
their
Kyle
company stands
MacLachlan.
I mean, dude,
that would be incredible. Well, and here's the thing, is that, like, we are doing such good implicit world building that I cannot imagine they don't want to take this longer than one season. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and I want it too.
One of the things that, I do too. One of the things that happens in episode 6, one of my favorite scenes, period, is that meeting at the between Boy Cavalier and Yutani, and then the elevator scene between Kirsch and Morrow is just holy shit. They knew we wanted that. They knew we wanted that. But neither here nor there. Good. That's not really the part that I wanted to talk about yet, but I do want to talk about that. We'll get there. The mediator. I love the idea of this mediator, because at one point towards the end, he says, "On behalf of the 5."
Yeah.
They are 2 of the 5. You know what I'm saying? Like, they run 2 of the companies that are a part of the 5, which means that the 5 has almost grown beyond their the 5 is a governing body, not just these
it's like
CEOs.
Their UN. Yeah, it's like their or
and there's whatever. like they're almost delegates. They're not like, they don't even they have control over their companies, but there's limits to what they can do because they've all formed
nations.
these Geneva Accords through the 5, you know?
That's crazy. I mean, they are trillionaires. They are as big as countries. So I mean, like and like he even says, he's like, yeah, we move fast. We make trillions. And to put a S on the end of to even put a T on the beginning is crazy, but then to make it plural is even crazier.
And Yutani being like, "Bitch, we'll go toe for toe."
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 20 billion was just to get this under the rug, and then she fuck it, 50 billion. It's nothing to her. That's insanity. Like that's $50 billion more than Twitter was acquired for, just off of a fucking whim. And honestly, Twitter was probably acquired off of a whim too. So I mean, this is,
True.
I mean, it's crazy that money is being moved.
Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah, like fuck it. 44. Wait, was it billion or was it million? Am I tripping? No, it was billion. Yeah.
It was billion.
Yeah, that's what.
I'm like 44 million would be cheap. 44 billion has to be
actually,
right.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, that's it. I don't know. It's just these numbers. It's what the fuck are we doing here? But no, the money part. I love the art of the deal. This was just so like this is at the end of the day. This is just a conversation between two people. Obviously, they're in power of quite of a lot of things, and there's a whole lot more going on. But yeah, it's just like. If this conversation didn't happen, what does go down? If the 5 isn't a thing and there isn't any legal, they had to meet, he's expecting a full front like assault. He's securing up, like bro. They said he's up security a whole bunch. Like he's expecting us to just fight, and that's Morrow's smarter than that, I guess, and he's honestly not having to do a thing. They are self-imploding.
Morrow, you can tell too, is kind of desperate, which I appreciate. Yutani kind of like. I really enjoy Morrow and Yutani's kind of working relationship. Whenever he approaches Yutani, it's like, I got something. I really cannot guarantee it'll work. I think we should try to destabilize this place and exfil in the chaos. Like that's, and now I like that. That is the finale, by the way. It's like it's the building point. No. Like the plot. Like the finale will be them exfilling. I think the end of next week is the chaos incited. The finale is the executing the exfil, and then whatever happens with Wendy and her brother, or Marcy and her brother, which is a part of the story that is fascinatingly not nearly as compelling to me anymore as the corporate espionage.
How crazy is that? The human side of the story, or like the company part, is so much more interesting,
and it's so much smaller.
Question. Yeah, like this is but. The interesting thing, I think, for me is not really the brother and sister relationship. It's really what Marcy decides she is. Like, she isn't even thinking she's Marcy anymore a little bit. She's
beyond like, Marcy and Wendy.
I don't like people anymore. And I'm like, damn. Yeah, like, oh, shit. And then it's like...
That's why I really think we're building towards a Paul Atreides sort of vibe with her. Like a fallen angel set out to do good... wanted to be good, but this is what you've made me, sort of. Anakin Skywalker-esque in that regard, I think it's the part that's really, really interesting is that she's obviously maturing at a much more intense rate than the others are.
Yeah.
Like Shmi is still the exact same fucking kid. The one who tries to bond with his homie, and he's like, he stands there with his arms crossed. He's like, really? You're going to play games with me later? Like that is obviously still an absolute child. Whereas Marcy is on a different fucking level, intellectually. Like she is far beyond anything they could have, like, she's having she's starting to have those conversations that Boy Cavalier was hoping she would be able to.
Yeah, I love the line of, I keep wanting to call her Sylvia, I guess is her name. But whenever she's saying, she mentions the word corrupt, and then Marcy goes, that's a funny word. She starts to say like, oh, well, it means, and she goes, no, I know what it means.
No, I'm not
stupid. And it's like, oh, well, oh, fuck. She's like, oh yeah, you're actually not a kid. I don't know. It's like a kid wouldn't really know what that word means. It's like, it's funny that,
right.
I don't know. And even, me, the audience member, I feel like I didn't think she was saying it like that's a funny word, as she didn't know what it meant. Like it was, it's very a back to you, sort of thing. And I like, the dynamic is, the dynamic is changing, and just it. I think it's funny that I didn't realize of like companies like Neuralink or whatever, and we put the first chip in someone's brain. But what if they just decide like that they're actually just better than the company? They get it in their head and they're like, oh, actually, I can disable everything, all of your power. I don't know how the fuck it all works.
You watch Thunderbolts, right?
Yeah.
Why would a god answer to anybody? Like
that's
that.
True.
That sort of
Homelander effect. Yeah.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And I think that when it comes to Marcy, what I do concern myself with is that I do think she's still under the influence of Boy Cavalier.
Yes.
I don't think she's concerning herself as being dedicated. Mm-hmm. She's not concerning herself with being dedicated to Prodigy, but I do think she has been affected by the grooming done unto her by Boy Cavalier. Like the convincing 100%. Her that he's in her corner and he's always there for her, and they don't love you like I do, and they don't get you like I do. It's just I do see a eventuality where she chooses him, because like the way they're talking to her brother, and she's never going with him, regardless of what they say.
Yeah.
Regardless of what he says, that's not happening. It's just not. Man. So
that's crazy. It's kind of like the Romulus, same thing of like the synthetic brother and a real sister, but knowing that one can leave, but the other can't actually go, but they both want it to happen. But it's just companies at the end of the day making it not. And it's like, damn. Yeah, it's like, these 5 companies. Now, nice that we can blame even more than Wayland Yutani for the stuff at the end of the day. But no, I like the company stuff, I think, is the juiciest part because there's a lot of twists that can still happen. And 3 other companies that we just have no idea. Lynch is the only one I've seen like the name of, and it's the only thing I'm keeping in my brain. Because I want it to pop up so bad,
right?
But like I think the companies add a lot of juice. But the Marcy story is still, like, I don't want to say it's like bad.
I mean, it's the philosophical foundation of the show. Like if the ideas the show is putting forth wouldn't be nearly as compelling without Marcy and the story of the kids. Like that is because one of my favorite storylines has become Morrow weaponizing one of the kids against Prodigy. I think that's I think it's a really great idea. And the kid kind of, struggling with it and not really having to make the choice, but then making the choice like, they have my family. I'm sorry. And him and the guy trying to, like I have a family, I have a family, don't you, what are you going to do with it? And he turns around and stuff like that's hard hitting shit. Damn. And the way he
what
tells
a bad day
me
for that scientist.
Oh yeah, dude. Horrendous. And him telling me, we're adults now. This is adult stuff. Like, no, that's not what this is. This is just, your lab rats.
Yeah, but this not in Morrow being like, no, you're a good boy. This is what you should do. You will do that, and like it's just so and like that's exactly what Boy Cavalier is doing to Marcy, and just
it's what Boy Cavalier is doing to all of them in a way. Like it's they're all being used from all sides. The only person who isn't trying to use anybody is Wendy's brother. What's his name?
Joe. Good old Joe. Yep, just Joe Hermit. I mean,
Hermit. Joe Hermit.
Joe Prodigy Hermit. Something. I don't know. I don't know what his full name is, but yeah.
Right. Yeah. No, but like, he's the only one who's not trying to use anybody, and so was the guy who got. And they will. Yeah. They are going to be the victims of the show. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think the only thing that will possess Marcy to not choose Boy Cavalier is if Boy Cavalier expressly states that she has to go against her brother.
Yes. She realized that Sylvia was a little corrupt already, but I think she'll realize that the order actually comes from up top. The bald guy, the evil henchman, Adam. Yeah, good old. Is that him? Yeah, Adam Ines. What I think she'll.
You know who he reminds me of? Sorry, no, this is random.
No, who?
You remember in Fury Road and Furiosa, the guy who has like the nipple piercings and no nose that runs with
right when you said Fury Road, this exact
he
fucking
runs
one,
with
that is
Immortan Joe.
insane.
Yeah, that guy. It might be the same actor. I don't know.
Wait, Mad, I have to know now. That is like, I mean, let's see if it's on his filmography. That would
he also
be
reminds me a little bit of
absolutely-
Ellen Payne from Game of Thrones. The one who spoilers for
okay.
Game of Thrones does the deed to Mr. Stark at the first season.
Yes.
Um,
I
reminds
feel
me
like
of
that's
him a
kind
little
of
bit.
like Darth. That everyone knows this one.
He's in Last Jedi, Star Wars.
Yeah.
He's Captain Peavy,
Yeah, I know.
which
I saw
is
that, but I didn't see Mad Max. Sadly, that would have been fucking.
no, but
awesome.
that is the vibes that he
but-
gives though. Is
Yeah.
just big time that guy vibes.
But yeah, this we Prodigy, very very bad, and now Boy Cavalier, setting himself as more. Yeah, I feel like he was already evil, but now he's going like just clearly like kind of I don't know. He's not just a boy with a wonderful imagination doing cool, you know, whatever. Like yeah, there's obviously a lot more going on there, and I wonder just like if he has any goals with the xenomorphs at all, or if he's just studying to study, because he's really given everything to Kirsch. Like, and I think this could be I don't know, like Kirsch. I wonder how independent he's kind of acting now, because he's watching all of this stuff go down in the lab, and he's like, "Yep, and then everything's going fine."
This is the first time you're like, "Oh, he's not just playing it close to the vest. Yep. He's hiding something."
Yeah,
and I like that.
Boy
love
Cavalier
that.
gave him full access to the. He told him like in episode 4 or 3, I don't know when, but he was like, "You have full control of everything that happens in here," and like no need to report to me or something like that. And like Kirsch was like, "All right, affirm, like great." Yes,
and I do wonder if it's an Ash-esque thing where like he's more than anything a science officer. Like he wants to see how things play out.
Yeah, he has
I don't know. Well, and then
Wendy, or I'm saying Wendy still, and Marcy feels a lot more correct, but like saying that he, what she or Kirsch has been telling her, about like, humans romanticize things and talk about feelings way too much, and that all that gets in the way. We can stop the sadness, stop the madness. I think like Kirsch is grooming her in the opposite way, to be more like machine, and not feel, and yeah,
dude,
that's like
that just goes back to that elevator scene, which, by the way, is the best scene in the show so far for me.
It was awesome. Like,
we're getting who are far and away the two most compelling characters in the show, and probably the two best performances from the show so far from Timothy Oliphant and I can't believe I don't know Morrow's name off the top of my head yet. Babu Cisse. That's cool. I like that.
Babu Cisse. I gotta get that.
Yeah, I love Morrow. Morrow is holy shit, and he's added even more these 2 weeks that are just like he was already an interesting, compelling character, but now he's a sympathetic character, which just gives him a whole other angle, and I love that. But giving them a chance to act off each other, and then you get this like interspecies cha-cha here where they're fighting over who's the superior being, because he's all synth and he's part synth, and I would think that the pain would be what makes it enjoyable, which is like, whoa, Kirsch, chill, that's some dark shit you're talking about right there.
How does it feel to work for a company that made you obsolete, and or like last year's model and like old toy, like it's all so derogatory.
God, it's so good, dude. Oh my Lord, that's the kind of shit I love, and them just. They were fucking boxing with words. I love when actors get a chance to do something like that.
And I love how you knew right when the hand stopped in the elevator and you saw Kirsch come out.
Before that, whenever the elevator doors are closing and you see him standing there, you're like, reach in, here we go, reach in, baby, and then he reaches in and you're like, let's fucking go. And like the fact that the most anticipated scene of the show for me was a conversation between Morrow and Kirsch is actually a huge compliment to the show. You know what I'm saying?
The
like
writing is actually so good.
It's really sound. It's like, really sound. And these are the kinds of episodes that are actively improving the front half of the season. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is exactly what I was hoping for as far as the trajectory of the show was concerned. I thought these first 4 are a real slow burn, and I'm okay with it as long as we can really, really rev it up, and we have. And I'm super happy with that.
Episode 5 a little earlier, you know? Like, what if this was the setup? And like,
if this was the pilot,
like,
I think it really changes
after
things.
It. Yeah, like I don't know. We learn about the eye a whole lot more. We know it's like or they're all connected sort of thing. You know, they're all one hive mind. It seems, or like. That's what I think. Like everything in the lab, it seems that they're working together. He's communicating with them somehow and telling them, oh no, hey, I saw how she opened the fucking jar. Here's how to do it. Go do it. Oh, water is in there. We saw it spill on the table. We know that. Go put your fucking eggs in there, dude.
See, but then she tries to warn that. The eye tries to warn her that happened.
The water bottle?
Yeah.
No, that was the sandwich. That was the sandwich.
Right,
the bug crawled in the sandwich. She had no idea about the water. It was just happenstance that she didn't drink it. Like, it was like,
I know, but was there not a moment whenever he tried to warn her and
No. Yeah. It was more of a distraction. It was like, hey, look at me so that thing can go out and crawl and then go poop in your water without being seen. And then I feel like I remember
something after
because even he does that, and then I felt like it was way more distraction, like because the eye like bumps the glass before that, and then she looks at him and like, take a picture, it'll last longer. So the eye knows that she can, you know. I'm calling it a she for some reason. I feel like it's even the scientist says like, she's escaped. So like I don't know. I feel bad for assigning she, but like I think it is like testing. It is testing everything. It's like testing the little dink, and it's like, okay, I can't get your attention. I'm going to get it at this perfect time, right when I need to distract you. And because the sheep does it with Isaac, and then it's like, oh, put me up in the all the way up here. I know I can crack and get out. Like, it is so smart. It knows how the lab operates. It knows it's only been watching this whole time and taking
it's beyond everybody. Everything. Like, it's beyond everything, which is why, like, I'm so curious about its motives, you know, like, I want to know if all it, go ahead.
I mean, the xenomorph and why it's fighting, or like if it's protecting, I think the other interesting perspective is, what if the eye just thinks it's the apex predator? Like, and the xenomorph, it's just a pure battle of strength.
Possibility. Like, I think it's 100% a possibility that it's just a pure, I'm trying to prove that I can fucking kill you. You know what I'm saying?
It calls to it. It like right when it realizes that Morrow was about to kill the engineer guy, it was like, or like call. Was that a, hey, I'm about to die, come help me, or was that a, hey, this is where I am, let's fucking go? You know, I think that like it feels more of like, hey, let's come get me, and I'm ready to fight for whatever reason. But
that's why I really think that there's an element to it that it almost feels personal too. It doesn't just feel, broad scope, like I'm better than you and I want to prove it. It almost feels like the eye feels like it has a responsibility.
It's smarter. I don't know. It does think. A xenomorph doesn't really feel like it thinks.
Right.
They are smart. They're not.
Oh
like
yeah, they're
dumb.
smart, but they're not trying to.
But
yeah, they're very very smart. But like Wendy says, ants, bees. They're very smart. But is there much? They're much more than that, and I do agree. I do agree with that. And I think that when it comes to the eye, I think that the eye has a moral compass.
Yes.
In a way.
There's something there. Yeah.
There's something else behind the eye. And I think that when it comes to the way that it looks at things and the way that it analyzes things, I think it almost feels like it is the only one that can stop the xenomorph. So it feels a moral imperative to do so. And I think that that's really, really interesting.
It has seen what the xenomorphs can do, maybe.
Yeah. And that's why I'm like, and because is there a possibility that they picked all these things up on the same fucking planet too? Like you posed the idea that
did they get all this shit from?
Was this where did David engineer a lot more than just xenomorphs? In all of that experimentation, is there any chance that more than just they came to be?
Yeah.
And I think that would be a really, really interesting idea. And, there's I really, and this is kind of unrelated, but we mentioned David. I got to say, shout out to everybody who is looking up alien stuff on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, whatever, and going, you know what? The Cinementalists just covered all the alien movies. All of those have been gaining wild amounts of downloads the last few days. Every day, every like couple days after an alien episode, the alien movies episodes are the only things that get downloads. It's so funny. Yeah, regardless, hey, shout out everybody who's checking out the alien content, because that's why we did it. We appreciate it. But regardless, no, I'm incredibly, incredibly excited by the direction of the show. And the thing about the direction we're heading is that this story can be wrapped up as far as what a season's conclusion of the story can be. But it's so much bigger than what the next 2 episodes have to tell us. And I think that's incredibly exciting. Another thing that's incredibly endearing is that it's FX, it's Hulu. And those shows run forever, it seems like, regardless of how much people watch them. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, like those shows, they're just like, yeah, fuck it. We like making good TV. Let's keep doing it, and it just so I think that there's a viewership there. I see a lot of it online, and I know I'm in my algorithm, but that doesn't always happen. And right now it's happening, and I'm very, very happy with it. So I think we're in for another season at least of Alien Earth, which is incredibly exciting.
I hope so, because a Disney Plus show at this time, we always ask the same question.
If this was a Disney Plus show, we would not be getting a second season.
Yeah, no. Yeah, second season, no. And we'd be saying, how the fuck are they going to tie this up in the next 2 episodes? Like, what the fuck? Like, how is this a season of television? But no, I feel they could wrap it up very, very cleanly. They could also open the doors to wildly different stories, which is like they have it in the best place possible.
I think we're building to a conclusion that makes us go, holy shit, the story just started.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think that's kind of what we're barreling towards, is that they have big ideas and we are kind of dipping a toe in the water right now. And that's incredibly exciting. And I don't get that feeling watching shows often. Now another interesting thing is that while 5 and 6 were absolutely what I've been waiting for, the show hasn't been this. So 7 and 8 also have to be this, like they do have to be on the level of 5 and 6. And if they aren't, I'll be a little discouraged. But I'm pretty confident that they know what they're doing at this point. I think that they knew they were going for a slow burn. They knew they were going to escalate in the second half. I do agree that the 5th episode, I think we could have done with the 5th episode being the pilot or the 2nd episode. I think that the 1st episode is the 1st episode because we meet Wendy and they want Wendy to be the heart of the show. So like, I get it, that, and it is the catalyst for the events of the show. The first 4 episodes are spent with this wreckage and everything that happens because of it. So it makes sense. I
get like 5. Why they waited this long is if there is still more twists on the crash that we have yet to see, and it feels like it's all been revealed. But before, we had no idea there was a saboteur on the ship. We just thought they crashed, or like, well, it is a little too convenient, but well, they just crashed and shit went down because I honestly thought it was the xenomorphs that did it, or like the specimens,
right?
That got out. But then this Petrovich or whoever the saboteur ended up being, bro, he has it out for this other guy. That's like the guy he kills, he's not trying to kill Morrow. He's trying to kill that other guy. Like, he doesn't even try to shoot Morrow. He is explicitly trying to kill him. And then like when he shoots him in the head, like, I don't know. Like, it felt like he was trying to take him out. And this dude also tells Morrow, like, you don't even know who that is. That could have been me.
Right.
Sort of thing. Why the fuck do you say that if you're innocent, for one? Like, if you are innocent, you don't even joke to the head of... I don't know. Like, this dude felt a little suspicious saying that. And then, like, I don't know, it felt like Petrovich or whatever his name was, like, he had it out for that guy. And I wonder if they were working together or something, and you know, he didn't want that to get out. He wanted to be the only one to, I don't know, whatever come out of this. It doesn't seem like his plan was very solid anyways, because he had, I don't know, to crash into Earth, into Boy Cavalier's zone. So it's like, you know, but this other guy, that's my maybe possible in of how another one of these companies could get inserted, of just how Boy Cavalier said, hey, do this. What if another Lynch is like, hey, crash into my region or whatever. Like, they all fucking want these monsters. Every single one wants them. And then that's the real, I don't know, the big realization, I guess, is every single company was after the same exact thing, even though every international law says obviously not. Like, one of my favorite line of episode 5 was Raheem, and R.I.P. to that man, you know, doing the surgery and then just got
dope
fucking
as fuck, like, by the way. But really, and underrated performance, by the way. Like, might be my favorite performance of episode 5. An absolutely incredible, subtle piece of work he's doing. But go on.
He dropped some philosophy, or no, not a philosophy line really. Like modern day philosophy is what I'd say. But he says, another victory for the enemy of reason. This space bug is proof of how stupid smart people can be. Smart enough of building ships capable of space travel, of splitting the atom and decoding the genome, but too stupid to realize you don't take parasites home with you. And it's it probably can only end bad. There's not many good situations unless you want humanity to be taken over and a new apex predator formed. I feel like is there any? There's no way they coexist. You know, like if one. It's honestly surprising they haven't got out. Like, is my thing. Like, I am worried that, I don't know, that none or all of these things aren't accounted for, and there's some, I don't know, way that one of these creatures can birth a face. I don't know what has to if these all are independent creatures, if Xenomorph, I don't know, is what it will happen. But I wonder if Xenomorphs would be alive at the end of this at all, you know, or if that's why we have Alien 2, is like maybe not Prodigy just has them and Weyland-Yutani doesn't have access to them. It's more of like they're dead. Like, we had to fucking nuke. Oh shit. I didn't think of that. Yeah, I mean, because that's exactly what in Aliens or Alien 3, some movie, they're like, well, no, we fucking nuke it. And maybe that's the precedent, you know, set here of, it got a little out of hand. Xenomorphs started being born. The only way to ensure that Earth doesn't die is, oh my god. Yeah, that's oosh. I didn't think of this. And the other companies would very, very much be okay with one of, you know, their land not being nuked at all. It is only Boy Cavalier's sovereign nation or whatever. How much, you know, I wonder if it's literally like they have territory, you know, if it's just company and they just have reach over the world, or if it's like geographically Boy Cavalier controls the north, I don't know, North America.
Yeah, he calls the place where it crashed his city.
Yeah. Yeah, his city. Yeah,
which is like, I don't know if it's one of his cities or if like this is where he operates out of. So it's like I don't know. I would be incredibly intrigued to learn sort of this is like one of the first shows in a really long time I want like a Star Wars-esque adjacent material where like they're like, and here's a map, or like Lord of the Rings type shit, wherever, like, whenever you would read those books, they'd be like, all right, here's Mordor, and here, you know, like, all that shit. Like, I would love to get the layout that's like, all right, yes, exactly. The 5 as a map would be very, very cool, and, I don't know, I'm impressed with the fact that the story really hasn't escalate. I mean, like, it escalated, but it hasn't evolved a lot either. Yeah. Like, obviously, the 5th episode was entirely prequel. And it didn't really tell us anything new aside from the fact that Boy Cavalier sabotaged the ship and purposefully made it crash so that they could assume, which is like, you know,
yeah.
we didn't know that, but it's kind of like,
crash.
okay, yeah. It's like, okay, yeah, pretty much. And the sixth episode, not much happens aside from the continuation of slightly taking Dr. I can't remember his doctor's, Mr. Sylvia, if you will.
Yes.
Yeah. And taking him and the good fella.
Where is he?
And taking him and accidentally, or not accidentally, but happens to be the one who gets ate or face hugged.
Yeah. But maybe, he is pulled into the vent at the end, it's not usually good once the face hugger is on there, but there has been one taken off, right? Like, has that been done in alien history? Has one ever been taken off successfully?
Not once it does this, no.
Oh, damn. Yeah, what? Maybe.
No, and his goal isn't to take it off. His goal is to get him to Morrow. This is what Morrow wanted. Morrow wanted him face hugged, and then him snuck out of the facility. So, like, his goal isn't to save the fella.
I thought this was just for chaos. That this was just let a xenomorph be born and on the loose.
I guess that could be it, but I think they want the xenomorph. Like, I think that if they can get this guy and get the xenomorph, then they wouldn't even need the chaos.
Exfil, I guess that is, yes, we want our creatures back. It's not we're going in and just killing. No, like I guess that is why they would go in to kill, is to get these things back. Okay. I didn't think of, I guess it works for both. Having a xenomorph and another xenomorph only helps Morrow and Yutani, because I really think Morrow wants him dead because he somehow started this fire.
Right? Yeah. No. Do you know how incredible of a character you have to write for me to be rooting for the guy who wants xenomorphs? You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
Like, for me to be like, I want Morrow to win. Like, I want Wayland Yutani to win. That's fucking crazy. Yeah. Like, to have pulled that off is kind of wild. And that comes from creating a character like Boy Cavalier being so utterly despicable. Yes. I fucking despise that kid. And I don't view Wendy and, Hermit and all of them as an extension of Prodigy. So Yutani winning doesn't strictly mean Wendy losing to me. Like I don't tie Prodigy's success to Wendy and their worth, So like, that's why I'm like, I want them to be okay. I want Morrow and Yutani to pull off whatever they want to pull off, and I want Boy Cavalier dead. That's perfect world, Perfect world. Everybody gets what they want. Boy Cavalier's dead.
I still think we have a whole lot more to go back. After this episode went back in time and we saw more of the crash, I think we go 65 years back and we see the original Yutani, not the granddaughter, and we see the orders she gave Morrow directly. Yeah, and so
I could absolutely see that.
I feel like we get that. I feel like I'm kind of comfortable in saying that scene feels pretty good. I think we still return back to the ship, however, because there's still a couple things that have, the synthetic that is on board, the creepy perv. Oh my god, what's his name?
Kang.
Yeah, Kang. It's Kang, like Kang the Conqueror.
Tang.
Tang. Okay, Tang. Okay, I was like, I feel like I would have remembered Kang, but okay, Tang. Yeah, I feel like Tang he is another possible. He's done some stuff. I don't know. He knows, like, it's you haven't figured it out yet, Morrow. Oh, it's right in front of your face, and like, and he's just, is he creepy just to be creepy? Like, is that all it is? And then like that girl, that he's all creeping over, is she just in the show for him to creep over? Is that like, is there? I feel like there's still a little more to the crew that we haven't quite gotten yet, and that just many other of the crew could have reasons just like the Petrovich had to turn and want want to crash the ship. So I'm wondering, the engineer and the apprentice guy, he seems pretty safe to not be He seems a little, but I don't know. Could he be playing it up? Is he Jar Jar?
No,
is he Darth Jar Jarring it up?
He's simple.
I guess he's dead. Anyways,
yeah.
So the parasites got him.
Simpleton. He's he's all right.
Yeah.
He's just dumb.
Yeah.
So.
Engineer dead. Eyeball got him. I guess all of the crew, the OG crew that we did see, they are. Mara was the only one to make it out. But
I could see them. I really do think your thought on them going 65 years back and showing Yutani's original orders, or maybe even Morrow's origin, as far as, he says, I was a boy with a palsied arm, and your grandmother took me in, and all it sounds like he was almost raised by Yutani in a way, which is interesting.
Because then he has a daughter eventually. Like, he has a good life, and it feels like he just stuck around with Yutani. I don't know. It seems just Yutani took him under her wing. And
right. And that's why I'm like, I they would have to do some fiddling with the timeline to be sure. Because I think it would be awesome if the idea is that Yutani is like, we lost contact with the ship Prometheus, and we're sending you after them.
Oh yes,
I think that would be sick.
Yes. Ooh, that's such. Oh my god, such a good
because
way
those
to name
are
drop it,
canonically Yutani vessels. That's why I'm like, or we lost contact with the colonization vessel Covenant, or something like that,
Yes.
That would have to play with the timeline, because right now those, and in the movies, they are literally like, this happens in the year 2089. So what it would mean is that we're moving the timeline for Alien forward, not the timeline for Prometheus backward. It would make it so that everything moves about 30 years forward from here.
I wonder how they handle that. Yeah, because that would.
Well, that's the thing, is that they might not be touching that at all. Like that would be in that specific scenario, if that were to be the case. And again, it's not really something they have to do. It would be something that, like, only the nitpickiest of the nitpicky would be like, well, actually, Prometheus only takes place 28 years prior to Alien Earth, so 65 years is nonsensical. No, I don't care that much. I just think that for the sake of, neatness, I think it would be interesting, because there's no other, I don't think there's anything in the Alien movies aside from Prometheus.
Yeah.
That's like, this happens in this year. And then, Covenant's like, this was 10 years ago. So like, those are kind of set. Beyond that, you can do anything, year-wise. I'm pretty sure. I might be mistaken, but, there might be a mention of the year 2122 in Alien.
Yeah. And it feels, I feel like they would, I don't know. Like, if they're choosing a year to start all of this, I think they know the year whenever the story is put in place a little bit. So I think, like, I wonder, I would like for, so like it technically can't work, I guess, or like Prometheus is just so much actually further ahead than this, if the years hold true. That is kind of wild. And it's not like we have the year of Alien Earth. That's not the 65 years ago year, right? Like, and we actually jumped 65 years to be, I don't know, and like have
run that back for me. Sorry, repeat that.
Like the year that said Alien Earth is set in, I guess it's not. It is already after the 65 year jump that they, like, cryosleep jump.
Yes,
that they had, right?
yes, because this takes place prior to Alien. So I do believe that the events concerning Neverland and everything with Wendy and the quote unquote modern timeline, not the flashbacks, which we haven't even gotten. Technically, it has all been that timeline. So yeah, I'm going that is what is taking place in quote unquote 2120.
2120. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, it's I don't know. They don't even need to, do all, but that would be so cool. If just to rope in, like, and maybe these are just from other planets and they did just scour, but I don't know. What David did, man, that dude had to have fucking cooked. And I don't know, that to rope it all together would be kind of sick if they didn't care about all that stuff.
The way they're going, it wouldn't surprise me if they did try to tie it to that, because when it comes to these other creatures, if they got them all from one place, man, that feels like it feels almost certain to me that would be the tie. But you know, I guess we don't know. And I'm excited to find out. And if it has nothing to do with that, I'm not going to be like, oh, they should have done that. No, as long as they can do whatever they plan on doing effectively, I'm super cool with it. But
oh wait, it says Prometheus takes place in 2093.
Yeah, which would be
so Prometheus is before.
Yeah, by about 30 years.
So maybe, yeah. So that actually would line up. Like they set out on this mission but how would they know 65 years ago that this is where they had to go? Well, maybe, I guess, like maybe it is. They're just on the mission to find other life,
and then they're rerouted or something.
And then the ship comes on. That's David's plan. Maybe this is David's plan all along to fucking inseminate Earth, like to get xenomorphs on Earth. And oh my god.
See, I still think I think we could do some fucking cooking with David.
Oh my god! What if Michael Fassbender fucking? Maybe he's not in the show, but I mean, David could be like, he did all of this science on the ship, and then he turns his beacon on, and then Weyland-Yutani's like, oh, here's one of our ships that had maybe specimens. Go to it.
Maybe they reroute the vessel that they're on to wherever David was. I could see that. I could really see that. I think that would be awesome, man. That's why I'm like,
the captain, and we have the captain, and is it? I want to say Alvarez, but is that a different show or a different name of the?
I think.
What is her name in the show? I don't know why I want to say Alvarez, but that's that's the Dark Knight detective Alvarez. I think is what that is. Who's the girl? Whoever fucks the captain, and takes command
Zaverny.
Currently. Okay, yeah, not even close to Alvarez.
Played by Risha Murjani, who is unbelievable.
Oh my god!
As far as just holy shit, have you seen that person?
Yeah, she's hot, and she played the running scared of like, oh my god, what the fuck
final
do
girl,
I do?
The final girl type thing going on. Yeah, incredible. And the recontextualization of him not being an unfeeling robot, but being someone who's putting the mission above all else in that moment is really, really hard. So that's why I'm like, the episode I undersold earlier when I was like, we don't do much. No, we do a lot character wise, there's no doubt about that. But I mean, literal events, there's not a ton of leaps and bounds made. And I think that being able to create that sort of tension without moving the story forward a country mile is really, really cool.
Yeah, and that
I'm sitting fucking pretty with this show right now, man.
Like, even if we don't return back to this original crew and like there isn't any more to be twisted or had, like I'm really comfortable with the twist that was already there with Boy Cavalier. But I don't know. I think Petrovich wanting to kill that other dude. So, I don't know. I don't think it was just he was missing bullets, missing Morrow, and then happened to hit that guy 4 times. He hit them in, like, the stomach. He shot him in the knee. He shot him in, like, the side as he was running. And then he finishes him off in the head. And I'm like, okay, this is, I don't know. It did not feel accidental. So, like, I think there's more to cook with that guy. I'm suspicious of him. And if one dude can wake up out of cryosleep and just go back in, there's 10 other people that were asleep or whatever they said. Do we wake 10 other people up or whatever? So like, or was the whole crew woken up at one point and we do see everyone awake? Or no, the girl is still sleeping. Yeah, there are still people asleep completely. But yeah, I don't know. I think there's more actually to be had on the ship. But definitely, I hope we go 65 years ago and we see old Yutani. I think there's Morrow, the fire of the daughter. And like him saying, "Hey, point to this star," and that's how you can talk to me. We get him looking at that star from his home or something like that, and I don't know. That's a bow I need tied up. There's still more to cook, but there's only 2 episodes, so I don't want to over wish or over want here. But no, this is a very good step though. I escaped into the show so easily these last 2 weeks. Like it was, I don't know, the first 4. Not that I wasn't liking it, but I'm kind of loving it. I'm starting to love it now with these last.
No, yeah, 2. I mean, I definitely, I was not disliking it. I was underwhelmed compared to what I wanted, and these last 2 weeks were what I wanted. So like. We're there now, and I think on the other side of the show, if 7 and 8 maintain this level of quality, I will look back on this show extraordinarily fondly, and I think that's important, man. So I'm ready. I'm very excited. I can't wait for what this show has in store these last 2 weeks. And man, I can't believe we're getting that close to the end. I feel like we've been doing alien stuff for so fucking long. It's weird.
Only one more episode for us, to record. We have 2 episodes.
Yeah, one more episode to record, two to watch, but 1 to record. Yeah, wow. It's true. That's wild. Yeah, I hadn't considered that. But yeah, man, I think with that, we might be able to conclude this episode of Geek With Me. I don't have much else to say, but we will be back next week with episodes 3 and 4 of Peacemaker, which, hey dog, I love these episodes of Alien Earth, but I am so fucking in on Peacemaker, it's crazy. And I know there's a companion podcast for Peacemaker done by James Gunn himself. Okay, I can't blame you if you want to listen to that,
come on,
but we're going to talk about it anyway.
Over there. That's literally, come on, he can only say good things.
Go to that if you want behind the scenes stories and stuff. We are speculating about the direction of the DCU, because here's the thing, James Gunn's not going to be like, what if this happens? No, he knows what happens, okay? He knows he wrote it. We're having a lot of fun, so I can't wait tomorrow night is when the next episode of Peacemaker comes out, and we'll be discussing that next week along with episode 3, which was awesome. I love DC right now, dude. Man of Tomorrow was officially announced, 2027 release date, Superman and Lex Luthor film. Let's fucking go.
We're in a good place, comic book movie nerd shit wise.
Oh my god. So perfect time for us to have started Geek With Me officially, or rebranded to Geek With Me, I should say, but yeah, so we've got a lot to look forward to. We'll be back in 2 weeks as far as Alien Earth coverage is considered. We will be concluding our coverage of Alien Earth Season 1, as I am confident it will one day be known.
Yes.
Alien Earth Season 1, Episodes 7 and 8 will be in 2 weeks. We'll be covering that. Cannot wait for that. We've also got a movie podcast called The Cinementalists. That's CINEMENTALISTS. And right now we are doing Cinema Surprise. It is a lot of fun. And this Friday it is Cleo from 5 to 7. And I can't really imagine a more different movie tonally than the Alien franchise. As far as Cleo from 5 to 7 is concerned. But if you're open to a little bit of a slice of life, walk and talk, existing in somebody else's shoes for an hour and a half, that is the place to go. And you got to listen to us talk about it on the Cinementalists this Friday as we continue Cinema Surprise. At the end of that one, Joseph will announce what we're discussing next week. We discussed Blue Velvet last week. We've had a lot of fun. Cinema Surprise on the Cinementalists, a lot of fun. Got to check it out. And lastly, Fire Pod With Me, a Twin Peaks podcast, reaches the finale of the original run of the show next week, Season 2, Episode 22, Beyond Life and Death. If you have never watched the show, it is the podcast for you. If you have watched the show, it is the podcast for you. We go spoiler free because I am the rewatcher. Joseph is the first time watcher. He has no idea what comes next. So when I say no spoilers, I mean no spoilers for what happens later in the show. If you have never watched the show, you should absolutely not just listen to our episode on the finale of Season 2. That would be moronic. You should watch the show, and if you happen to like it enough to go, this would be fun to listen to a podcast with, you should check out Fire Pod With Me. Here's the thing. If you do that, and then you get to the return, I'm going to tell you, you're going to fucking need a podcast to listen to in between episodes, dog, because that shit will blow your fucking mind whole. Okay. You won't be able to, unless you are hyper intelligent or don't give a fuck, you will have no idea what to think after every week unless someone tells you what to think. And that's me being facetious. That's not entirely true. Everyone will form their own thoughts. I'm more than anything trying to drive you over to FirePod with me.
Regardless, watch Twin Peaks. That's the
watch
message.
Twin Peaks no matter what, and if you can, and if you want to, you should check out FirePod with me. We have an incredible time over there, but we also have Fire Walk with me coming in the next couple weeks, the missing pieces, and then we're kicking off the return in October. So we have so much to look forward to across all of our shows. They're the 3 best things that'll happen this week. Prove me wrong. I absolutely love what we're doing. We're cooking with gas, and I'm super happy. I'm super happy with where our shows are. So you got to check them all out. Geek With Me is the only one that is weirdly underperforming, and I don't even really mind that that's happening when you're 600 and some change deep. You know, who cares?
Yeah.
We've done a lot, so we're going to keep doing it.
Yeah.
But
talking the nerd shit, you know, that'll happen regardless.
You gotta love it, But yeah, with that, I was Colton Robertson. I was joined by Joseph George. Thank you very much, homie.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to be here, homie.
Oh, and it's always a pleasure to have you. And remember, in space, no one can hear you scream.